we would have to wear like our little dresses and sleeveless. And I think I was quite more religious back then.
Was there ever a moment where you felt that you were ashamed of your culture?
And you know those videos where it's like, what nationality wouldn't you date? And everyone says Indian.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 1 of Bad and Desi. Today we have Sharon Khan, who is a fierce, brown and bad fitness enthusiast who's redefining beauty and strength standards in the fitness world. Born in New Zealand and raised in Australia, she's on a mission to empower women through body confidence and muscle. So, Sharon, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
My name is Sharon Khan. My name is Sharon Khan. I work in projects at one of the big 4 banks. I am currently taking a pause on powerlifting, but I still go to the gym. I have been training for almost 10 years now, post high school. While I was in high school, I did play a lot of sport in school and outside of school. So I did do netball, Oztag, touch and athletics, which led me to going to the gym post high school because I had a full knee reconstruction, which led me to the gym where I had to do all the rehab and build that strength back up.
What does your cultural identity mean to you now, and how do you think it's changed since you were a child?
I think people are more proud to be brown compared to when we were in school. I went to a all-girls private Catholic school, which was predominantly Caucasian. So bringing food that smells or having hairy legs and stuff like that was not normal.
Or oily hair.
Or oily hair. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, nowadays, like you embrace all those things that you would hide when you were younger. I think I was so shy and like closed off younger, where I could never be my true authentic self. But now I am so proud of being Bengali, being brown.
Growing up, do you feel like you had any cultural standards that you had to abide by? And did you have that pressure of being that traditional good brown girl?
100%. I think we all went through that. But I think my parents realized that I was different from everyone. So my mum always tried to make me do music, dance, all the, you know, conservative stuff. Mm-hmm. But I just like completely twisted it and I wanted to play sport. I wanted to play footy. Mm-hmm. I wanted to play with the boys outside late at night. And like my parents would have to like yell at me to come home and like study. Mm-hmm. And like even when we were in primary school, I would get sent to summer school at North Shore Coaching Centre. And I would literally cry because I didn't understand why I needed to study when I could be like playing outside with my friends on school holidays. It just made no sense to me.
Yeah, I relate to that.
And even till this day, like going to uni, being a good girl is like still the standard. And like I've done all that, so now my parents don't pressure me to do anything else because all they wanted was the child to have a degree end of the day, even though it doesn't mean shit in my job. But you know, you just do whatever it takes to make them happy. And I think till this day there's still always the pressure of what other parents think of your child as well. And I don't think I'm the classic standard Bengali girl, you know. I've got tattoos, I wear shorts. Like, I think my parents were more lenient in the way I've grown up compared to other parents, which also set me aside from other Bengalis. So I would never fit into a circle because everyone would judge me of like how I am because of how I dress or like, not how I act. I think I act like a normal person. But yeah, just the way I dress, like people are so judgmental on that, and like till this day I still feel out of place in most places because I feel like people are always judging me just based on my appearance.
Now, going back, do you feel like you regret any of the decisions you made growing up by not following the conventional, traditional, conservative route that your parents expected you to follow?
Definitely not. I think everything I've experienced in life has shaped how I am as a person. And I think I'm a good person.
I think you're a great person. Now, someone that might be in your shoes right now, that are battling with, parental expectations, but then also want to live that sort of life in this modern environment, what advice would you give them?
I think it's really important to communicate with your parents. I think as I got older, I realized how important it was to communicate the things that they were trying to restrict from me. Like even at the age of 20 or 21, I was in a long distance relationship with someone from like another state. So I needed to tell my parents, even though I was an adult, I needed to like open up to my parents, as hard as it was, about this relationship, because I needed to make it work. And having that honesty and being able to communicate that with them opened like so many other doors in terms of them seeing me as an adult, because they've always seen me as a little girl, which I'm not.
Little and strong. Growing up, it's very obvious that all of us have dealt with certain stereotypes being brown. Which ones have you been exposed to, and which ones have affected you the most while you were growing up?
I'd say when I started playing netball, we would have to wear like our little dresses and sleeveless. And I think I was quite more religious back then. So my first game, I think I kept pulling down my skirt like the whole time. And I did not have shaved armpits, so they were hairy. I hit puberty at 10 years old, by the way.
We both had mustaches.
Yeah, like full mono, like hairy armpits, hairy legs, you name it. I think for my 11th birthday or something, I asked my family friend to give me shaving cream and razors. And my mum would not do my eyebrows, so I just went and got the razor and just like went down the middle.
I've done that.
And she was like, did you shave your eyebrows? I was like, no. But you can like tell that I literally just went like right down.
Obviously, someone that is growing up right now, say you could even speak to the younger you, what advice would you give them? They're constantly being told that they're different because they're hairy, or that they should be embarrassed of themselves. Now going back to maybe the 11-year-old self before you held the razor to shave your eyebrows, what would you have said?
I said, Sharon, it is normal to have a monobrow. Embrace it, little one. I think like even with society now, like you follow all these influencers, everyone, I seriously think this is like still a thing, because I went to a private school and like all girls, pretty privilege is an actual thing.
Oh yeah.
And like the way social media is now, you see like 11-year-olds, 14-year-olds, they are so pretty, like it's crazy. Like where is their monobrow and like hairy armpits? Like I'm pretty sure they're getting all that stuff done a lot earlier now, which is sad because you're not embracing being a child at such a young age. You're already expecting to follow these like standards by society, which is sad. And like even with my family friend that's like 10 or something, she wanted to make YouTube videos, but she didn't feel like she was pretty enough to make YouTube videos because she's a little bit chubby and she has a monobrow. And I'm like, you can make whatever videos you want. End of the day, people will still have hate comments. So for my younger self, just be you, be confident, just be a child. Just enjoy life.
Do you feel like, based on what you just said, beauty standards have changed since when you were a child and the children that you're seeing now? Or do you feel like children now have access to tools that we potentially didn't have back then, so they can aesthetically advance themselves without the struggles that potentially we went through?
I think they have a lot more access. I think even parents allow like their kids to go buy I don't know, when you go to Mecca, you see like little girls, like, I don't know how they have money to buy like all the skincare. It's fucking expensive.
Oh, 100%. I remember doing
But
color matches for 9-year-olds when I used to work at Mecca.
crazy, yeah.
So I used to, it was 9-year-olds, mate. Do you even have like, does your mum know you're here? But I agree. Access.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Was there ever a moment where you felt that you were ashamed of your culture? And if so, how did you tackle that and how did you unlearn that?
I feel like this is a constant thing, but I had a realization the other day. I'll talk about the past first in terms of the future, but past wise, yes, always throughout school. Like, you know, I don't think I ever brought food from home to school or anything like that, but our school was quite diverse. But my previous school, I'm pretty sure I was the only Bengali in the whole school. And I used to just say I was Indian just because people wouldn't know what Bangladesh is.
They put you under that one umbrella.
Yeah, you just like follow, So, yep, I'm Indian, that's it. Oh, do you eat butter chicken? No, I don't eat butter chicken, but yeah. You know, I think back then I was definitely ashamed of where I was from, my culture, my identity. People don't know, like, I actually love eating curry. I eat curry with my hands, with chili. Like,
She does.
My family friends say I am the most Bengali one out of all their kids within the group, which is quite funny. But compared to now, I was literally reflecting yesterday at work, every Eid or whatever, cultural day, whatever it is at work, I bring food from home. Like my mum or dad will make like biryani or something for me to take. And I think it's so nice that everyone at work embraces everyone's culture and the diversity. Like, it's so nice to see compared to how we grew up in school. It might be because, like, the workplace is a bit more brown dominant. But it's even nice to see, like, Caucasian people, Asian people enjoy our foods. Like, they even all get, like, dressed up for Harmony Day, like they even ask if they can wear like our clothes and stuff as well, which is super cute. But yeah, I think there's a huge difference between how it was back then compared to how it is now.
Do you think that difference is because of maturity, or do you think it's been a cultural shift in acceptance?
I think a bit of both, because even like on the internet till this day, you still see people bagging out brown people. Like, oh, ew, they're Indian, or ew, they stink, or something like that. But when you're around, like, people in a professional environment, no one says anything like that.
Yeah.
So
it's always the ones that have no profile pictures, they've got, like, the fake usernames or fake profiles that have, like, the loudest mouths online.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I agree.
And you know those videos where it's like, what nationality wouldn't you date? And everyone says Indian.
I think that's also lack of awareness as well. Like, it's that kind of association that there's this traditional stereotypical Indian that people associate India with, even though there's nothing wrong with it. Everything's normal. People think of India and they think of that stereotypical picture. But the truth is, India, Bangladesh, any of these countries are so much more diverse than like that one stereotypical image that comes to mind. Like, even when you think India in general, people don't have the most beautiful perspective of it in terms of like its aesthetic. But I've been to India really recently, and I can hand on heart say that I would live there, considering how modern it is. There are so many parts of those countries that people haven't seen because of that stereotype. I think it's acceptance, and then it's also maturity, but it's also awareness. So it's very obvious that the quality of your circle has an effect on the person that you are. How do you feel that your circle has evolved over the years, and what do you think classifies a good friend?
My circle has definitely evolved over the years. A good friend. This is quite a hot topic. I don't know if even I'm a good friend sometimes, because I know how busy life can get, and it's very hard to make time for everyone. But a good friend would be someone that's there for you during the tough times, even if they can't be there. A message is even enough. Like, if that's all you could do at the time, that's fine. My circle is just like constantly changing. And like right now, I do hang out with my gym friends a lot, but that's just because of my life schedule. Like, I see them every day because I go to the gym every day. Like, it just works like that. And then I can make time to go see you because you work in the building right next door to me. But like, other than that, it's very hard to go out of my way and make time. And it's not that they're a bad friend if they haven't messaged or something like that. They might be going through something themselves. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to determine what a good friend is, but you will always know who has the right intentions for you and who is supporting you and who actually cares about you. You know inside.
Yeah.
And I feel like you don't need to make that decision of who they are, but you just know.
And I don't think that, as you mentioned, that someone's physical presence in your life is needed for them to be a good friend. Like, sometimes you might catch up with a friend after 6 to 8 months and it's like the exact same, but deep down, you know how deep your connection is with them. So they don't have to physically be in your life to be a good friend. And I think that's really important to know, especially as you mentioned, our lives are very busy. So it's sometimes extremely difficult to connect with people that you know care for you. So now I think the concept of a good friend, for me before, it was someone that I always meet, or, you know, someone that makes time for me or catches up with me. While that is important, but the concept of a good friend, I completely agree with you. Someone that you know cares for you and someone that you deep down knows will have your back. You don't need to meet them every day, but they're a good friend. Based on people around you and people that you look up to, do you feel that you're behind in life?
This is something that hits every day. Sometimes I do feel like I am behind, but then other times I feel like I am where I need to be. I think growing up, I always had this perception that I would be married by 25, kids before 30, house and everything, like all set. But to be honest, like if I was married by 25, I did not even have like my career set or anything like that. Yeah, I think everything has aligned to how it should have. And even if I feel like I'm behind in the timeline compared to other people, I think it's meant to be. Like, I don't have a house yet, and I'm 28. I still live with my parents, share a bathroom with my cousins. I don't have kids, not married, and that's so fine. It's all going to happen when it happens, and I'm okay with that.
Who do you think sets these timelines?
God knows, but it's bloody rude. Like, why is there a timeline of when, like, there's so much pressure to get married. Thank God no one pressures me anymore to get married. It's just a question now that people ask now when he's going to propose. But, like, no one really asks when I'm going to get married or anything like that anymore, which is nice. But, like, before, it was, like, a constant question, and people are naturally meant to be married by, like, 25 or something. And then since we're closer to 30, we're getting old. But nowadays, like, people are having kids at like 35, getting married after 30, because the people that are getting married before 30 are divorced within less than a year, because they probably never found themselves before they got married to that person. They just got married to that person because they were comfortable, or they wanted to make their parents happy or something like that. And that would have been me. And I'm so glad I didn't do that. So I'd rather be old and married later than unhappy married young.
Based on everything that you've experienced, if someone's going through something that you have, what's some advice that you'd give them?
I would say, if you aren't happy with yourself, you're never going to be happy with someone else. So never settle for someone or something just because you're comfortable. I think to progress in life, you need to get uncomfortable and do things outside of the normal standards. In terms of any progression, whether it's your career or fitness or just life in general, like, just be different, be yourself. Like, don't follow the normal standards that you have to follow. Like, if you want to go travel the world solo, just go do it. That's, yeah. I don't think you need to settle by a certain age. I think you should just enjoy your life and find your inner peace first before trying to make other people happy. You need to make yourself happy first.
Okay, I'm so nervous.
I'm more nervous. I'm kind of glad that things didn't work out the way it did. The way it didn't. The way it did. The way it didn't. Things didn't work out the way it didn't. Like, I didn't want it to the way it did. My name is Sharon Khan. Cut.
We'll keep that in.
That was good.